Um, Welcome everybody. Today's community meeting. Sorry I couldn't make it last week. Um, as always, if you'd like to add your name to the agenda, feel free to do so. We'll just do some project updates, and then if there's anything else anyone would like to discuss, feel free to do so. I was going to kick things off with a quick update for Recore tiles. I know last week we mentioned that we cut our first the 0.1 release of the service, so roughly the service is code complete. Since then, we've already started making some breaking changes to the API as we've started client development. But the thing that I'm really excited to show is, while it's just a bunch of text and this might not look very exciting, this is our service running and staging. So we now have Recore tiles or Recore v2 up in staging. It's accessible at this URL. What you're looking at here is our checkpoints. So whenever you go verify a log proof, you need a checkpoint as well. And what this shows is that we've put one entry so far into the log. So we'll continue to see this go up over time. Feel free to use this if you'd like to. We are going to practice sharding, so creating new versions of or new deployments of the log so that we can make sure that we can rotate out the log. We'll do that a few times in staging, and then in the coming months, we'll deploy to prod once we have a stable API, and we'll make a lot of noise about that as well. On the client side of things, we have begun to implement support in Sigstore Python, Sigstore Java, and Sigstore Go. They're all at various states, but I think we'll have something for folks to play with in about a month. What would be any other interesting points? We've also updated our signing configuration in staging to add the URLs for the TSA, and then we're now going to go add the URLs for the staging instance so that clients that support signing configs can now automatically discover new instances of Recore v2. And I'll write all this up in our project updates as well. If you have any other questions, feel free to ping me or make a post on Slack. The other thing to mention is that we have cut a new release of the Timestamp Authority. One of our contributors found an opportunity to improve request verification. You were able to submit a digest that didn't match the expected length of the hash algorithm. So this is just a good way to make sure that we're not producing timestamps that aren't verifiable. So that has now been added and rolled out to our staging, and I don't think yet production environment, but that'll be going out momentarily. And then I don't think there were any other recent updates for full C or cosign. So I guess, Cody, did you want to talk about Sigstore Go?
Yeah, 1.0 is released as of yesterday, so pretty excited to get to this milestone. It's been a couple of years, and I think that yeah, we did a lot of work over the past months to just close open PRs and clean up the API a little bit, and I think we're really happy with where things ended up. It's been a pretty stable API for the last few months. Not a lot of bug reports coming in, so I think it's a good time to go ahead and stamp it and commit to supporting that as a supported production ready client. So there's a blog post linked, and of course reach out if you have any questions or issues. That's about it.
Awesome. I'm really excited to see this come out. It's been a lot of great work over a number of months. Thanks for all your contributions to this, and I'm really excited to see this integrated more into cosign as well.
Absolutely.
And I'll just real quick share this as well. So yeah, take a read over this. I think it summarizes all the great work that we've been doing in this space for a bit. And if you have any feedback, as Cody said, reach out on Slack or post an issue. Infrastructure updates. I guess the obvious one, and I will leave a link so that if you'd like to give this a try, Recore V2 in staging. I'll add a little bit of documentation after this call to the community notes. But if you want to call this, it is this plus API slash v2, and then we follow the C2SP spec. Actually, I'll just say, take a look at the proto. That would probably be the best way to do this rather than me try to describe this. So I will link to the proto, which describes our API. And then, again, if you have any other questions, feel free to ping. I want to give a quick update around the protobuf specs. I guess, Arthur, did you want to mention the MLDSA changes?
Yes, sure. So we have added to the protobuf specs the ability to use MLDSA 65 and 87. Obviously, those are not fully functional yet. There's a lot of work to be done to make them usable. But this is one of our places we're starting. I am just now, I see the link that you posted, Sigstore on post quantum cryptography.
Yeah, I wanted to just mention this one. So this is Zach summarized, I think, all the discussions that we've been having. So I would definitely take a read over this. Our goal is to turn this into a blog post and a discussion.
Yeah, this looks wonderful. And I'll definitely, if he is accepting feedback, I would love to be involved, especially because this is a lot of what I'm working on too. But, following today, I'm going to be doing more work around, now that it's in protobuf specs, making MLDSA usable elsewhere as best I can. And I have some information from William Woodruff about how to do that. So there will be upcoming issues and PRs related to that. I did see in the in this draft blog post, this is the first I'm hearing about Go not like Go standard not integrating MLDSA at some point. Do you know where Zach got this information?
Zach, this is actually also new to me. So Zach has been digging around this, which is an issue posted. This is public. I did not actually know about this, which was discussing that because of, I think they cited CNSA, that they wanted to focus on SLHDSA first. So I will say one thing that's not talked about in this blog post, just because we don't yet, this is not yet public, or the repo is not yet public, is that Trailbits has been doing this implementation around MLDSA and SLHDSA that conforms to the crypto signer interface. So I think that will be our plan until it is standardized in Go. And maybe we can help expedite this as well if they'll accept the contribution of the MLDSA implementation. But I think in terms of we as Sigstore, how we can start experimenting with things, we'll use this library that should not block us.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I am surprised to hear this information. Like, I'm just skimming over this issue right now because MLDSA specifically is what CNSA 2.0 is demanding. So yeah. I'm surprised they're going with SLHDSA, especially because it is so much larger.
If you'd like to maybe make an update on this and ask for some clarity, I'm sure Roland or Filippo, they're probably one of the two who is taking a look at this. But I'm not sure what their decision is regarding priority. So
I will add that to my to-do list and see what I can dig up. Because if they are really preferring SLHDSA for some reason, it may be worth also integrating into protobuf specs. I don't know. I do think that it's so much larger, which makes the operating costs that much more infeasible. So I don't know. We already had this discussion in an issue. Yeah.
Well, let me know if you hear anything back on this.
Yeah, absolutely. look into that. Thank you. Other than that, no further updates on adding crypto agility apart from the work that I will be doing over the next couple weeks. So.
And I'll mention that I think there are now just 2 remaining PRs in Cosign that are going to use some of the crypto agility work that's been ongoing. Just trying to pick back every single place that we've hard-coded hash algorithms just to make it a bit easier to specify things. So it's Cosign. It's always a bit scary making these changes that we're going to break something. So those PRs will hopefully get in soon.
Nice. Great, that's all I got.
The other update that I wanted to make regarding protobuf specs is that we added a field for operator as part of our signing config and as part of our instances in the trusted root. The reason for this is as we roll out Recore v2, we're now going to have 2 logs and in the future more logs as we continue to shard that are concurrently active and operated by the same operator. And while this isn't an issue for most clients, Sigstore Go has implemented policies, verification policies. There are minimum thresholds that must be met. And so we want to make sure that we're differentiating between log deployments and selecting only one distinct proof or timestamp from a given operator so that if, for example, you provide a V1, a proof from a V1 log and a proof from a V2 log, that doesn't count for 2. That should only count towards 1, towards the threshold. So that'll be rolling out soon. I'm starting to make the updates to Sigstore Go. Like I said, it doesn't really affect most other clients because they've just made decisions on policy, whether it be accept just one or accept all. We had a little bit of a discussion offline today that going forward, we'd like to work on standardizing the verification proto that's currently in the protobuf specs repo. That's what Sigstore Go is roughly implemented already. So I think there's some changes from that need to get pushed into the protobuf specs repo. And I'll leave a link to that as well if anyone wants to take a look. I think that's about it. Were there any other project updates that anyone wanted to give? Alrighty. Well, then I guess we can kind of jump into questions. Arthur, do you want to kick things off about KMS?
Sure. And hopefully this will be quick just because it's kind of a repeat of the discussion we had last week. I guess I wanted to ask, anyone else here at the meeting. So what Red Hat uses for KMS, we're using Hashible. And I'm just curious if anyone else is currently using that. Because the last time we had a discussion, we're talking about how there's not a lot of maintainers who are using the KMS workflows. So I'm just interested in connecting with anybody who is.
I guess this is a good call for anyone who's watching the recording of this. If you want to ping Arthur on Slack. I know I don't think we have a lot of folks using it. At least I don't know of anybody else who's using it. I'm sure there are some folks using it though, because we do get bug reports occasionally about it.
And that's all I got. Thank you.
Alrighty. Were there any other topics that anyone wanted to discuss? Awesome. Well, it was great seeing everybody. We'll chat again soon.